Alright, so I got a collection of clips. Um, I started them last weekend and didn't get those projects done. We ended up losing the fence sometime after the storm. It looks like we ended up with a dirt clog on the window. On the wire. I have no idea how that happened. But anyway, it's a collection of clips. So if you're so inclined, you can follow along and see how things go. Peace. So you can see there's some metal that we obviously can see, and I'll get it picked up. Of course, this old rabbit cage will get it picked up. Get all the pieces I actually can see. I'll get them picked up out of there, and then what I'll do is I'll start picking. I'll just make me a magnet screen, and I'll pick this up with a shovel and dump it through the magnet screen and get rid of it. Get the metal out of it. There's nails and stuff in there, so I want to clean that up. And of course, I got to mold this a little bit with the string mower so I can, get in here a little bit anyway. So this is mainly, like I said, most of this is just too big to work with. There's some fence and stuff in there, and the only way to find the fence is with the string mower apparently, because if there's a loose wire or a string mower within 1,000 feet of the string mower, it'll find it and wrap it around the head of it so it can take a break, I guess. Anyway, like I said, I'll get my 5-gallon buckets, I'll pick up the cans that we can see, and I'll pick them up and sort them out. Guys, I'll take them to the junkyard. I've said it before, I'd rather get paid a penny than to pay a penny. So we clean this up, and what don't burn, and what can't be hauled off to the scrapyard, I gotta pay to get rid of. So that's what we're gonna do. This is probably gonna be the focus of my attention most of the day, is building this metal screen. Alright, on to other things. And if I do get the metal screen built, then I'll make a video. I'll do a tripod video, maybe, of me using it. Alright, so I've got the pieces together. I'm kind of visualizing. This is going to be above the magnets. These are going to be the magnets. I've got 5 of them. So it looks like my spacing will be about 2 inches between the magnets. I'll put a side over here and a side over here, and set it on an angle base, about like this, at angle, and that way I take the shovel and just shovel through there, and stuff that's magnetic will stick to the magnets, and the stuff that ain't will fall through. That's my theory. Yeah, I gotta go in and see what's going on inside, and then I'll come back out and look at this in a little while. Alright, so I've been out here with the string mower, working around the piles. Got a little bit of lemon here. That's mostly trash there. Um, there's a piece of metal there that's ended up being mainly trash. Uh, could possibly, yeah, I think it's probably trash. And I've been working over here this little ways, and over in here, this is a converted freezer. This used to be a freezer, now it's a cold box. You put plants in there and let the sunshine heat them up. Whatever that thing's called. Hot. I don't know. This right here, the missus suggested I use this as a bin for scrap metal, and I agree with her. So what I need to do, I guess, try to get this to where I can get it straightened out again. I don't know if I can or not. Let it heat up. I might. Anyway, this, like I said, there's stuff in here, but it's not as much stuff as it seems. It's mostly weeds. Cleaned up down here. This water heater is rotted out at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bottom off. Whatever calcium that's in it, dump it out. there was a day when I just sell it for weight. What I need is a container that I can throw small pieces of metal in. So that's what that's going to be. Cut the bottom off of it, a side grinder, and dump it out and use it for small metal that I'm going to take off the dump. This is mixed aluminum here. If I can get that bin straightened out again, if I can get this plastic to straighten out, then I'll use this. I'll sit this over here somewhere out of the way. Out of the way. Yeah, okay. Sit it over here somewhere, and then I'll put aluminum and coils and stuff like that in it for because it has a little bit higher value than the stuff that we're going to be throwing away. So anyway, I'm hot. The strings on the mower need to be changed. I did a little bit over here too. There's a couple of projects over here that I still haven't done. Still need to get done. It's a continuous process. It's always going to be stuff I ain't done. But yeah, we'll take a break. Peace. Alright, so the fence is dead. I got me a plastic stick here. Let's walk down it and see if we can hear any popping noise, which will tell me where it's at. We had a pretty decent storm. This is the water. This is our unofficial rain gauge here. Yeah, that's about 4 inches of water, so we had pretty decent rainfall. So let's walk out through here. I've had problems right here at the gate before. The barricade, for the most part, that's where you need help. You need somebody to... I don't hear anything popping. I don't think there's any problems with this. Now, no problem here. I had a grasshopper in here the other day, but it don't look like I got any issue right here. I got a weed, which I don't want to touch. Let's see if I can get that weed out of there. So that weed is not bothering it. But I absolutely cooked a grasshopper. He got down in there between the wire and the cage. And it cooked him. I gotta give these guys some water. Alright, so I don't see any broken wire. Oh, they're not totally out of water. I don't see any broken wires. Okay, they don't look like it's broke. So, and it don't look like it's broke right there. They walk around the garden here to the other side. Okay, so this part of the fence looks okay. Gotta get down here and weed out the garden. Well, weed out the fence line and put the fence in. And, but most importantly, I need to get down here. Oh my goodness. I need to get down here and get this up back up, opened up so they can, graze in there. And I don't see anything wrong with the fence. I don't want to touch it because even though it says 0, I might pull it loose and it might decide to start working. I don't hear anything snapping though. Now, darn it. I don't know. Let's see what the charger's doing. Well, magically walking around and touching the fence a little bit didn't help. So it's either still down in the pig pen somehow, or it's down on the back 40 somewhere. So I need to move them anyway, so I guess that's what I'll be working on this afternoon. Getting the weed eater out, string mower out, trying to string the fence out so I can get down in there and get that fence hot so I can move them. Sometimes it's easier just to move them than to try to, because it needs to be moved anyway. They've got that cut down damn near to ground, to dirt, so I need to move them to something fresh anyway. Alright, it's homestead life. So, I've had this mower about a year. I thought I cleaned that out, but I didn't. I'll have to clean grass out. That's my biggest thing I found is with this stuff that I'm trying to cut down, it's not really rated, not really for that. But, what do you do? It's the only mower I got. So, I have to make it work. So, that's what I do. Piece of wire. Might wonder where all them cans for. I'm going to scrap them. That's one of these days. But anyway, got to replace the string and pull some more grass out there. I thought I pulled it all out, but I didn't. I had to pay $80 to get this thing rebuilt. It's got a greaser in there. It's got a greaser up in there. And I put grease in it. But it's like, I don't know. It's like I don't put enough grease in it, or it just don't actually take grease. I don't know. Anyway, I paid $80 and got it rebuilt. So we got this thing here. I put a belt on it. I don't know if the battery's dead or what, but we'll have to do something with that. Try to get that to start. Well, let me go ahead and string this thing. See what I can do. Yeah, it says a lot cleaner than it was a while ago. Get some grease in it. But I've had this mower over a year. And I just saw the instructions on how to install the line. Well, good thing I didn't need the instructions. Now, I will say this. That's not the world's best way to do this because this is not welded to the disc, these two pieces. So, that's going to eventually break. It ain't broke yet though. So, I loaded up with 155.15. So, yeah, 0.155. So that's what I loaded up with. So it does a pretty good job. It would do a lot better job if it didn't try to torture the poor thing. But, anyway, there we go. Let me grease her up and see if I can't cut a path down through the pasture. So, this is a gate area. I've got vines. This is my electric fence. It's got so many vines on it that it's tight. So, yeah, I gotta get the vines out of it. Get it cut back, but I gotta go all the way down this fence line. Back down through there, all the way over through there. Get all this out. This Priscilla mint. It's bad stuff, they say. Cows and the goats leave it alone, so apparently it is bad stuff. Neither one of them are stupid, so if they don't like the taste of it or the smell of it, they leave it alone. But anyway, this is what I need to get opened up. This is give them all shelter. I gotta get up there and put some screws in the panels. Try to hold it down a little bit better, make it last a couple more years. Either just take it down and start over, but it's right next to this power line, so I can't put it where it is. I'd have to move it. So I'm not in the position to move it right now. But I have run out of string, so I'm run out of string and it's 6 o'clock, so I'm ready to call it. Anyway. The oldest goat is way over there. I don't know exactly where the youngins are. The cow's over here basically by herself, picking through the weeds, and she's eating the heck out of that poke salad. She likes that stuff. there's some other stuff there. I'm not sure if it's goldenrod or ragweed or what, but she ain't really messed with it. So somebody told me goldenrod was poisonous to animals too. So I don't know. I'm not a gardener. I'm just trying to live this life. I still have a dead fence. I don't know what's wrong with it. But anyway, I got to get them moved. So that's what I'm working on now, is try to get that pasture back. And I don't know what to do about the fence. Could be still in the goat area. I'm in the pig area for all I know. Anyway, I'm done. So it started right here. Oh man, these darn weeds. Got stickers on them. But it started right here. Made it down this far. Around the corner. I'm telling you, you can see how bad they are. Made it around the corner. I've been mowing about 5-10 minutes. Yeah. It does not like my weeds. So, back up to the shade tree. The fence down there, that's gonna be pretty decent because of the shade. But there's a leaking pond over there, so I might not be able to get through there because of the mud. But you gotta go get some more string. Okay. Luckily I didn't have to deal with the pond leaking. But I got a path cut down the fence line. I'm still got some kind of vine. I have no idea what kind of vine that is. But most of these weeds have been cut off. So I've been pulling back off the wire. I'm doing this without gloves, and I'm probably going to find a sticker this way. But anyway, this is our perimeter fence, so I'm sure the last time any real work has been done on this fence, he done it, the neighbors, and his main goal is to keep his cows in, and that works. He did. It does. We haven't had his cows get out into our yard very often. I think one time. But they was out front. They wasn't down here in back. So yeah, most of this is cut off the line. I gotta go through here with a weed eater, clean it up a little bit better. Down through here. Got 3 fence chargers, so I should have enough chargers to get this fence hot. I've seen a couple places where insulators were missing. There's one spot here in particular. As you can see, I was afraid to get the string mower up in there. I was afraid to get the string mower up in there too far because, yeah, it likes wire, and he'll get it, grab it, and then just kill it. And I don't have enough fence wire to do that. In here somewhere, it's right up in the fence, right up in the post. Somewhere. Back I'll have right there. Right there. I don't know how that happened. There we go. It's undone. Probably some critter. Then we got these stickers. I'll bring the lopers down and cut them, because you can't cut them with a weed eater. Wild roses. Oh, anyway, there's an insulator that came loose. And like I said, oh wow, it's broke. Wow, okay. That's why it came loose. Jeez, let me pick them pieces up. Okay. Well, that's why it came loose. So, and here's another spot. So I just have to come down through here now and get the fence looking good. Weed eat it. Bad weed eater's on the charger right now, so they ain't gonna do me a whole lot of good. Oh, there we go. We got it going. That tree right there, ice took it out about 3 or 4 years ago. And came in maybe last winter or the winter before. I cut most of it off the ground, but I don't know, that tree doesn't want to die. Got half its top laying on the ground, but it was brush mostly, so yeah. I would like to take them this way, but over in there is some bed springs and steel, so yeah. I still would like to take them over there. I just don't have no barricade stuff now to build barricades with. This fence is not much good, but I'll get the fence out and we'll be raring to go again. I do like my little path though. Okay, so one of the things I talked about doing last weekend was cutting the bottom out of this water heater. We got this thing from the transfer station. Somebody dropped it off. And based on what it looks like the bottom's rusted out. So, talked about cutting the bottom of it out. And the reason for that is I could of course dump all the calcium and crap out of it. But once I do that, I'll have basically a big metal container that I could stick cans and stuff in, small steel, especially out of the burn pile. Which I think I'm on a burn ban right now, so I don't think I can burn anything. I haven't checked that to confirm it one way or the other. I'm just guessing. It hasn't rained in a few days. It's been relatively hot. But I think that's what I'll do is I'll try to get that down. It'll take me a break a minute. But I also need to take at least this brass off. If nothing else, I can just knock it off. But anyway, if I can get those three things off, that's going to make my job a little easier. But I got a side grinder, so if nothing else, I can whack them off. Because I ain't trying to save any part of this. I just want to use it for trash. Scrap metal. Cans. We rinse our cans out that we use. And that's what this is right here. It's cans. Mostly cans. And it's just pennies. The less I have to touch it, the better off I am. But by doing that, I get rid of the water heater, get rid of the debris that's in the water heater, and I'd be able to scrap the water heater without no real big issues. Just take the whole thing, throw it off at the recycling center. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'm going to take me a break, drink me some water. But that's next on my agenda. So, that came apart rather easily. I thought this was just a coupling. It's not. There's an anode or something attached to it. I had to break it off. It's still inside there. Whatever it is. That came out real easy. This right here is, for those who don't know, that's a T&P valve. Temperature and pressure. Either or both pop that. And this has already been popped. And that's probably part of the reason why it failed. Because it wasn't holding water no more. But anyway, this is the other one. And it's a cold water side. It's color coded. Had this tube on it. So, yeah, there you go. I just thought it was couplings. But it wasn't. I don't know. Like I said, that's hot water. So I'm guessing that's an anode or something like that to help try to save the tank. I don't know. When I cut the bottom out of it, we'll see what else is in there. Because I'm pretty sure it's electric. I think there's going to have some heating coils on it. Alright. Well, I ain't got no wheel left, I don't think. But I cut from there to there. So there wasn't a whole lot of shell left either. But, and it does look like I cut all the way through it. So the shell was pretty much rotted out. I don't think there's enough there to beat it apart. I got a grinding disc, but I don't have a cutting disc. So I guess I'll rake up my little mess and that's about all I really can do. But yeah, that's interesting. I figured it would put up more resistance than that. Okay, so I did try to use a Sawzall. I didn't have the right blade. I had wood blades. So I eventually broke it. So that's the end of that. Plus, my fence is dead. And one of my goats has figured it out. And I don't think she's gotten out yet, but she figured it out. It's one of the young ones. She could just be laying down over there now. I hope. Anyway, I got a dead fence, and I got goats that want to get out. Because, well, they want grass, they want weeds, they want whatever. So, yeah, gotta get the fence hot. So, I really don't know how much battery I'm going to have. It says it's hot. I will find out. But then I'm going to try to get this fence open. Peace. Well, on the way back to the fence to work on it, look what I got on my freaking tomatoes. Oh, yeah. I hope you enjoy your last meal, buddy. Well, I picked a tomato. So now let's pick a hornworm. There, buddy. There. You enjoying it? Huh? Yeah? You like it, huh? Let's see if I can find a chicken that like you. If I can't find a chicken, then we'll just we'll have a party. Freaking hornworms. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to find chicken. I got one chicken. Where is my chicken at? Oh, chicken. Rooster, buddy. Where you at? There's no telling where that rooster is. Huh. Yeah, there ain't no telling. I got him, so I got him a treat. Let's see if he eat it. I can't find him. Oh well. You don't want to see this part. The goats and the cow have been moved. I almost got them all the water. Yep, gate's closed. Right now I got it wired shut because I don't have a bungee cord in my hand. I forgot to get one. But anyway, I got a hot fence. Now I just got to figure out why the pig pen ain't hot. But this in here is running at between 11 and 5. So it's not perfect, but it's running. 5 is hot. So, anyway, now I'll go down and check the fence and make sure it's hot on this side. Try to figure out, well, got to turn the water off, but after I turn the water off. Okay, I got cows and the cow and the goats. So, I'm walking through the pasture, wondering what happened to the fence. There's a dirt clod on the wire. How the heck did a dirt clod end up on the wire? Well, it don't matter now. Well, this part of the pasture, this is a barricade fence. So, all this is going to be ripped out. I don't know what kind of prickly stuff I've got growing out here, but, yeah. The goats and the cows didn't seem real interested in it. They beat it down and it's sticky. So, yeah, they say goats will eat sticky stuff, but, you know, if it's a thorn, it's going to hurt. And that goat ain't going to eat it. We could pretend like they will, but they're not going to. You can see that they don't eat Priscilla mint, though. Ain't it been chewed on? Hey, look. I guess that was a toy for him. All that the back here is. They get it cleaned up now that I can see it. Oh, what I gotta do now is disconnect the fence right here. Alright. Now that's disconnected. I did that wrong. Yeah. I disconnected the wrong one. This is my wire coming from my charger. This is my wire going to pig pen. What did I just cut? Well, I'll be done. Okay. Let me turn this phone off for just a second and fix that. Alright, I had to have two hands, but I fixed it. Pulled this wire from here, ran it back up there and tied that. That wire ain't touching nothing. There's a few weeds in that wire, but not many. So now we're going to go back around, because I ain't walking through them weeds. We're going to go back around, and we're going to see if this fence is hot now. If it ain't, I still got problems with the pig pen. Pig fence is hot. I do believe it was a mudslide. How it ended up on the wire, I have no clue whatsoever. But I think that's what it was. Oh, this fence is hot. The new pasture's hot. That's a project I can say is done. And a garden tour. So I was out here a minute ago. Saw a little bit of the tomato plant. There's still some of it left. Hornworm in my foot had to come together, and he lost. I didn't show that to you though. I figured that might some people might not want to see that. Unless you're a gardener, then you would understand. But anyway, garden tour. We got sweet potatoes over here. Probably need to dig these up. It's probably done. I don't know if we got any sweet potatoes. We'll find out though. We need to dig them up. Find out. Most of this went without water for a little while, so I don't know if we're actually going to have any beans or not. I'm trying to make some lima beans. It'd be nice, but I don't know. Anyway, this tomatoes I already have. I took in one tomato this morning. That's when I found the green hornworm. And then, so, I don't know. He was destroying tomatoes out here, so that might be one we got destroying tomatoes up front. I don't know. I'm not a gardener. Anyway, marigolds in the pot, in the raised bed, marigolds on the wild. Over here. Strawberry plants. For what they're worth. Next year we'll have to try again. I don't remember what these flowers here are called. They're pretty though. I'm thinking this is some kind of flower, but it probably isn't. It's probably a weed. Kinda looks like a zinnia. But it ain't blooming, so I don't know. Probably weed. These plants are about to make some real pretty blooms. Now I think she said she could make tea with the blooms. Of course, I gotta take a look over there at the new pasture where the animals are. They'll have that worked out pretty quick. But, yeah. Still got a garden fence. My compressor's out. So I gotta spend money on that. I could trim that up and get that finished there. I still got posts I could put across the back. And, go back through there. Yeah. Right over there. That white thing is the asparagus bed. And those little red berries on the, you see over there. The little red berries up in there. That's on the asparagus plant. Hopefully it means they're going to self-produce. I don't know. Phone is doing something weird. Okay. Anyway, let me pause this a second. I was wondering about my chicken. He ran away when he saw me. But anyway, I would have let him talk to the homeroom. But he wasn't nowhere around. And of course, we got the zinnias. They fell over. Cucumbers. Tomatoes. I got them all watered this morning, so they're doing that. We're pulling the tomatoes at first blush. When they start to blush a little bit, we pull them off and let them ripen on the kitchen table. We got some smaller cucumbers. We had a vine going across there with a cucumber on it, and it ended up being about a foot long. Hey, there's a cat in our cucumber bed. Yeah. So we're growing cats for sure. Well, there's another one in there too. That looks like mama in there. And I see a red tomato. Let me get that tomato. Right there. Now they're in here because it's cool. But I don't know what the blemishes are. They start to ripen and they get blemishes and holes and stuff. Oh well, I don't know what it is. But anyway, there was a cucumber in here because there's a vine going all the way across our tomato trellis. And there was a cucumber over here about 2 foot long. And they're bitter, so we gave them to the pig. So, yeah, that's our garden.